Previously on Let's Play Live Alive. The princess placed her faith in you. So long as at least one person believes in you. You must not lose hope! His Majesty! What have you done to him? Somebody, help! What's going on? The king! Oersted has killed his majesty? What kind of awful... But then... he must have Hash and Strabo as well. Oersted! Demon! It's him! Oersted is the demon! Oersted! It's not true, is it? No, keep away from him! He's no hero. He's a demon! They've tortured me, but I've never stopped believing in you. But now I'm starting to see why Hash hated people so much. But you know, Oersted, you have nothing to gain by hating humans, as long as there's someone who still believes in you. But you're still young, Oersted. What Hash and I devoted our lives to protecting, you must continue to protect. Please, you must go. There's still much for you to do. Now our story continues. And welcome back, once again, to the SFC version of Live Alive. We'll be going between the two versions for this video, just for flavor. Last time, Oersted, well, as you saw in the recap, kinda got screwed over in returning to the kingdom. And a lot of bad things have happened, but we still have that heroic resolve. There is one last person holding out hope against hope that Oersted will be there for them. Princess Alethea, or Alicia as she's called in this version of the game. We have to make our way back through Archon's Roost, aka Devil's Peak, in order to get to her. Now, off-screen, I did a little bit of training, just to make sure I get through this place as smoothly as possible. Level 12 is what I got to in both versions of the game. This is just a good level. Level 11 is the one I'd absolutely recommend powering up to, since that gets you jump shot. So, I would recommend doing that. It's not completely necessary, but it makes sure that you have good moves to cover every encounter that you might get into. And we do have a lot of new enemies to get into, such as Cynophobia, this dog mage enemy. So many things in this area are basically just completely annihilated by jump shot, as Hash was able to accomplish. So these dragons right here, they'd have been pretty big hassle for Oersted to take on by himself. But with the power of Brion and Hash's jump shot, we've got them no problem. Now, Oersted does continue to learn techniques up to level 16, like so many other characters in this game, but it is far from necessary to learn them. Over there, we've got... it's arachnophobia. One thing to watch out for those guys is that they can hit you with web, which arm binds you. Since Oersted is a sword fighter, having his arms bound means that he's basically incapable of doing anything. Like so many other things, this guy is vulnerable to jump shot, and in the SF, or the HD version, it is explicitly his weakness, so this will just annihilate him immediately. Rather dangerous up until the point where you have that technique at your disposal. All techniques that have the same names as the ones that Hash learned function identically. Now, one new thing about Devil's Peak, aside from the new enemies, of course, is when trying to get to different sections of the level, you've come. Each doorway that creates or connects to deeper into the dungeon has a boss waiting for us. So this is the main reason why we wanted to power up. These bosses can be pretty nasty if you don't have good moves to take them on, but with all the leveling that we've done, we should be able to take them out no problem. Claustrophobia here shakes the ground. I would highly recommend picking up a bunch of balm grasses before coming in here so that you have the healing at your disposal. Additionally, the status buff that the balm grass gives you, giving basically every single statistic you have a boost, is very helpful. Boy, yeah, as you can see, these bosses hit pretty hard. If I just came up to Claustrophobia straight away, she would have just annihilated me in a single hit. So that's why I wanted to do the powering up before I got into these fights. So yeah, Naurigisas or Bomb Grass, just use those heavily, and that'll keep you on top of these fights. I would recommend conserving your Alice Biscuits, man, getting my words all jumbled up here, just because they are the superior healing. With that, let's move on to the next section of the dungeon. Making our way through the HD version now. As I was saying, each door is going to have a boss awaiting us. There are 4 altogether, so not counting the Demon Lord himself. Also, man, the way this is laid out always trips me up when I'm coming through here. Slightly easier to navigate in the SFC version, because the pathways are a bit more clearly defined. Over here, we got another enemy to worry about, Entomophobia. Nothing really too special about this one. You have so many wind techniques at this point, it is really not that difficult to take it out. The one I'm showing off there is Wind Bite, aka Hexaflange, a multi-hit wind move that can also stun the enemy. Very powerful, but like so many other multi-hit moves in the HD version, it really struggles to consistently do its maximum damage. A lot of the time it whiffs. You do kind of need to take advantage of that positional accuracy bonus to get the most out of it. Getting close to another level up here, though as far as I'm aware, Oersted does not learn anything at level 13. He definitely does not in the SFC version. Here we've got yet another boss coming up. Head through this door and onto this next connecting path to the dungeon.
The hero, brave and true.
Next up in the line of bosses based on phobias, we've got Scotophobia. Let's see how good Heavenly Strike does against him. He's weak to slash attacks, so if we can get in close, our Valorous Slash should deal pretty good damage to him. We'll hit him with a Heavenly Strike just to bait him in first. We'll let him move up, and then let's get into position and hit him with a good old Valorous Slash. Been a while since we had reason to use this one. Oh, wow, that was terrible. That was worse than the Heavenly Strike. Yeah, Oersted's starting moves, they have pretty lousy damage here. Here we get our Mirrored Strike, multi-hit counterattack. Does good damage when all the hits connect, but you can't always guarantee that. Let's give a Shardfall a try instead. Big AoE, good damage. Unlikely that, even though it's a charge-based skill, this guy's going to avoid it. Man. Just getting let down all over the place by these things. But Shardfall still does more damage than Valorous Slash, so I still think it's a worthwhile thing to use. At least, it generally does more damage. Hit us with another Abyssal Drain here. Let me see. Ooh, nice, another Mirrored Strike. Nice when these come out. Let's see. Let's use a Bomb Grass to buff up our stats a little bit. And then let's just go in and hit this guy with Valorous Strikes. If he keeps hitting us with the drains, we'll also be getting counterattacks in. Here comes a Orb of Midnight. This guy is very easy to take out in the SFC version, where you can just hit him with Hexaflange repeatedly and he just goes down like a sack of rocks. Weaknesses and the like are much less of a concern in the SFC version. Not too many techniques are heavily resisted by enemies, so you don't have to worry too much. If one attack is strong against one thing, it's usually strong against everything. You have to put a bit more consideration into what you use in the HD version. With that, Scotophobia is down, and we can continue on to the next section of the dungeon. And get a little bit of EXP for our efforts, and an item. No new techniques to learn here. Oersted has kind of moved past Hash at this point. It's that youthful vigor, man. With all these enemies getting in our way, we can only presume that the true Demon Lord has finally decided to reveal himself, and honestly, we have some stern words for him. After all, he took out our, erstwhile allies. Man, I am just all over the place with my commentary today. I apologize. Anyways, let's just keep on using Hexaflange here. Also a great move, just about as good as Jump Shot in the SFC version, possibly even better. Doesn't have to deal with the wonky multi-hit accuracy that the HD version saddles it with. I will always just be so annoyed with how that happens. Of course, we've got more bosses to get in our way. I expected nothing less from a hero, Oersted. And we've got Acrophobia, and the Acrophobia container. So, we can presume that if we get that Acrophobia container, then we've got this fight in the bag. Let's use our Hexaflange. Let's just get in a little close. Actually, you know what? No, let's use a Razor Sonic. Just hit all of these things to get some big damage going in. Oof, they're a little bit more resilient than I was hoping. Let's see what Acrobat does to us. Unfortunately for us, that moved us out of the way, so let's use a Naurigisa, get our HP back up, get some status buffs going. It is kind of weird how in this version of the game, the Naurigisa is kind of random with how many of your stats it buffs. But yeah, when you're taking damage like that, just keep up with the damage by doing your constant healing. We should be out of range of their abilities, so if we do it in the corner here, we can hit these ones as they come in. And we will do a... Let's get in close and do a Hexaflange. We should be able to hit this one right here. Now, of course, if I'm able to make my way to the Acrophobia container, I'd be able to take that thing out directly. Unfortunately, because of the large sprites here, they're all kind of blocking my way, so we just have to do our best to work our way through them. That's one down. If we can get up into the corner there, we can start laying into the Acrophobia container. Let's get into the corner here, use a Naurigisa again, once again, just to get our HP up and get those buffs accumulating. Every buff we get helps out immensely, as you can imagine. Alright, let's get in close again, and let me see here. Yeah, let's do a Razor Sonic here. Just make sure that we're hitting them as best we can. The Hexaflange might not have enough range to actually hit the Acrophobia container. Alright, we didn't get knocked out of the way that time, so our Razor Sonic has not been interrupted. And there we go, the Acrophobia container is down. And the Acrophobias themselves not able to keep up with the fight. There we go. We're almost back to the Chamber of the Lord of Dark. Let's make our way there. We're on the home stretch now. The boss coming up is generally agreed to be the toughest of the ones you fight here, even tougher than the true final boss of the chapter, so be prepared for this one. You definitely, if you haven't gotten moves like Hexaflange, Wind Bite, or Heavenly Strike / Jump Slash at this point, you definitely want to stop and level up to get them now. I will admit, you'd have to be playing pretty cautiously to get to this point in the chapter without those moves, though.
You'll not fall here. The time is not yet right.
You know, there's something familiar about that voice, but I can't quite place it. Anyways, we've got the boss here, Hygrophobia, also known as Gynophobia in AGDP's translation of the SFC version. I'm not actually sure which name is more accurate there. As you can see, she is resistant to all our strongest moves. You want to be very, very careful about this boss when trying to approach her. Let's hit her with a Dragon Soul. One nice thing about Dragon Soul is that it's a bit of a piercing attack, so you don't need to specifically hit the spot that the boss ends up on. You just needed to intersect their sprite. But yeah, that move can put you to sleep. It's pretty nasty in the SFC version, where it pretty consistently puts you to sleep every single time she uses it. And if you're low enough on HP, she can just hit you with that repeatedly to absolutely annihilate you. Fortunately, we're doing pretty good here, keeping out of her range, just repeatedly hitting her with Dragon Souls, since that's the strongest thing we have that she doesn't resist. It is a bit unfortunate that it is a charge attack. Oh, here comes the sleep. Now, if she uses Loving Adoration, that'll whack us and wake us back up. of course, it is a drain attack, so it also gives her a sizable boost to her HP back. One nice thing about the HD version of this fight is because she can only move when that gauge fills up, it's a bit easier to kite her and not have to worry about her keeping pace with you. The SFC version, of course, the bosses just move until they finally take an action. Alright, she's coming in. With this Bomb Grass boosted Dragon Soul, we should deal some pretty decent damage there. Another 97, not offsetting the damage that she healed off. Let's hit her with another Dragon Soul. Ooh, here comes the Sweet Nothings. I'm not sure if there's any... Ooh, nice! A Mirrored Strike. This should deal some pretty decent damage. It's a wind-based attack, so she resists it, but any free damage makes this fight go so much faster. As I was trying to say, I'm not sure if there's anything you can get in this chapter up to this point that would actually give you any kind of resistance to sleep as a status. It would be nice if there was. Let's use a couple Bomb Grasses here to heal ourselves up. She got quite a bit of HP back from that Draining Strike. I keep missing the name there. What was that? Loving Adoration? So, just make sure when she's getting in close, you really want to make sure you're at full HP. Let's back off a little bit, kite her, send the Dragon Soul through her. Hopefully she'll hit us with something that we counter. I would really like to get another Mirrored Strike in. Again, even though she resists it, any free damage we can get in this fight. Here comes another Loving Adoration. Come on, Oersted, do a counter now. Probably not a counterable move. I'm not exactly sure, like, what the specific triggers for each counter in this game are. Okay, here comes another Sweet Nothings. So long as we avoid the sleep status, which is much more likely to happen in the HD version, and we did, we can get that Mirrored Strike in. And since we're able to move in behind, let's use a Wind Bite. Remember, attacking from the back increases the accuracy of your moves and helps out a ton with these multi-hit moves. Absolutely punched through her resistance there and just completely annihilated her. Good stuff. But yeah, that's definitely the trickiest of the encounters that you can get into before the final boss in both versions of the game. We get an Alice Biscuit for our efforts, which should be a nice bit of healing for the final encounter that we're going to be getting into. That was the last incidental fight we had to go through. Now, the Lord of Dark, his chamber is open to us, but... Huh. You know, it's weird. Wasn't there a cave-in? That's so strange. Like, why is it suddenly cleared up now? I would have assumed he'd come to meet us at this point. Just more questions. Well, fortunately, Oersted's investigative skills, a bit more on point than Straybo's, is able to just uncover the secret passage underneath the statue of the Lord of Dark, and we can only presume that he is beyond this path. It's time. We're finally ready to square off against the true Lord of Dark, and finally save Alethea. Our quest has all come to this. Will the people of the kingdom forgive us? Well, even as long as we get out of this with Alethea's love, we can power against the entire world, just as long as there is one person who believes in us.
A promise fulfilled for king and country.
How now, Strabo? This ghost, it lives and speaks. For I was buried not by stone and fury, but by inspiration, driven to act. The statue's secret. I found it. And then, stifled feeling, overwhelmed. In that moment, I knew how I'd finally best you. And rescue Alethea, my true love. With magic, I would win the day. A trap I'd feign, to send you running with the priest. The mountain shudders. We must flee this place. Before the tremors rend the roof o'erhead. Oh, God! "'Twas simple. Easy. With such fear, you fled. The contest's champion, so strong, bold. Abandoned good hash. Hero, left to rot. But blackest, final crime, soon to come. When guided I your hand in murder just, a thieving king who gifted you my love, disgraced. Yet still, you came to ruin us, as is your wont. A singular creature, insatiable destroyer, selfish beast! You've never been content to share your spoils. I've tried, friend. I believed that you could change. But that competition in you cannot. You'd never settle. Never let me win. Not even when I begged. For love. For love. You've no idea how I wept that night. You lustful wretch. How could you understand? You've never loved, nor lost, nor known shame. But that was then. I've newfound strength. You'll see. A final bout to settle it, my friend. To prove the faithful follower better. And champion crowned. Champion no more. You will repay my loyalty in death!
The devastating truth revealed. Strabo was the one behind all of this. Well, actually, it's kind of ambiguous if there ever was any kind of plot from a Lord of Dark, or if just everything has been machinated by Strabo. Regardless, at this point, it is more than clear that he is the one that set up Oersted, and he did so out of sheer jealousy, resentment, and desire for companionship with Alatea. Not really sure how he's going to reconcile that with the kidnapping, but whatever. He was once our friend, now our enemy, and now time for a final battle. So, as always, we mostly just want to stick to nailing things with the stuff that we can hit them at a safe distance from, and conveniently, Heavenly Strike / Jump Shot doesn't suffer any major damage penalty against Strabo. He is certainly a powerful wizard, but if we're not standing in the direction of any of his attacks, well, he has no choice but to let us repeatedly jump on his head, Super Mario style. He'll try to nail us with a Gale Force. Pretty sizable damage there. Ooh, and stun. Remember, Strabo is one of the most powerful magicians in the land, so he's more than capable of laying the hurt on us. Ooh, dear! That was not going to plan there. I didn't even know that attack could do that. One moment, please. Okay, yeah, so Strabo can petrify you. I actually did not know he could do that. I think he only, like, the last time I played this game, he only got, like, one attack squeezed off against me. So, I did not know that was a thing he could do. Let's, try and get behind him and hit him with a wind bite. That should deal some pretty good damage, so long as we can take advantage of the accuracy bonus. Yes, there we go. Okay, that went much better that time. He did hit me with the Silver Fangs, but luckily the petrification did not proc this time. The tragedies just don't stop. We had to cut down our best friend. Best friend who possibly never even cared for us.
Again. You triumph. To the last. Such greed.
Strabo. Don't touch him! Why? Why now, husband? I waited. But you never came, husband. In you I placed my trust. In you my faith. For father. Even though good Strabo, he... And yet, despite that wrong, he loved me still. He suffered. Dearly. For your sake. Your pride. A hero's legend built on sacrifice. With victories hard won by better men. Anointed hero. Glory to his name. And Strabo, sweet and humble, be forgot, but not by me. I'll not betray our love. Your name and deeds are known to me, sir. Having witnessed your prowess firsthand, I am grateful for most thrilling spectacle. Let us be wed, for king and for country. For I am yours, and you are mine henceforth. None holds a higher place within my heart. Not father, not any man. This I swear. In you alone, I place my faith.
She waits. She hopes that help is coming still. By love and trust and faith will we be saved. a single soul's enough when against the world we stand. Apart, alone. Believe in me. We plead. We pray. And answer they. I will.
In darkness, dare not despair. 'Tis a test. Do we surrender to sorrow and hate? Or rise above and choose instead to trust in one another? I would take the leap. I'd wager life, what little I have left, and plead your innocence to all who'll hear. But that will not suffice, I think. Still young you are, most capable and driven lad. As once we were, myself and dearest Ash. Inherit our cause. Keep the faith. Forgive.
My lord? My lord! Why stand you here, blade drawn? Guards! Guards, to me! To me! The king! He's dead! And culprit caught red-handed! 'Twas the lad! A plot? Then Hash and Strabo too? Murdered? This villain is his work. The Lord of Dark! The wretched fiend! Deceiver! Monster!
Naught remains. Alone. Utterly alone. Cast out. Unloved. Outside the grace of gods. The Archons roost. They call this shrine of death. Yet nowhere do I spy our Lord of Dark. His throne sits empty, wanting for an heir. Did I not do all that was asked? Did I not serve and seek my fair and just reward? And for my deeds, they damn me. Name me demon. And who am I to deny it? Demon, then, renouncing former ties and titles. And in their place, I claim the Lord of Dark, Odio.